Okay, it's the LA Leakers, man. Liftoff, just incredible. Well, my brother Boss, man.
What's going on?
Welcome to the show, dog.
Thanks for having me, bro. It's good to be out here.
Excited to have you on, man. I've had a couple chances to chop it up with you in the last couple weeks, but I definitely wanted to get you on the show.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here.
So, a lot going on with you right now, man. Why don't you tell, some of the people a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, who might not be as familiar.
Yeah. My name Boss, from Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah.
New York. What up? I'm signed to Dreamville Records, which was started by J. Cole.
Yeah.
In partnership with Interscope. And, I'm getting ready to hit the road again with Cole on the 2014 Forest Hills Drive tour.
Movie.
So, we'll definitely be coming through here a couple times. One time, I think like March 8th, we're in Santa Ana at the observatory, and then we come back and do Staples in the summer.
Dope, man.
I'm just working, working on some music, working on my album, and, keeping the ball rolling.
I want to take it back to the beginning a little bit now.
Yeah.
I know you've put out, is it 3 projects, 2 official ones, or?
Yeah, I did 2 mixtapes.
The Quarter Water.
Yep, the Quarter Water series. And then last winter is like the first album, really, like a studio album.
Right.
And I had an EP I did called 2 Weeks Notice. I put out 2 weeks before last winter, where I was just jacking beats and just rapping. Yeah,
I like that concept, man. We might have to do that again.
Yeah. It did a lot, man. It was good for just awareness for the project. Sometimes, as a new artist, it's all about show me, prove something.
Yeah.
So it was a good way before they got the music to be like, all right, you want to rock with this, like, check this out.
You seem to have, like, you say new artists, but you seem to have your shit so together, man, which is props to you and the team for sure. Where does all this come from? Like, how,
I think first and foremost is experience and knowledge and being able to be around, Cole, Ebe, Adam, as they've been doing this for the past 5-6 years.
Really from the ground up,
right? From the ground up, and just being able to be a fly on the wall and seeing where the missteps could happen, or where you or where, like, all right, this is a great idea, or how to really structure your team in a sense, because that's the most important thing. Like, people have to play their roles. Like, I'm making the music, but my manager Derek is wearing like 12 hats and getting everything else done, and just getting things done on time, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But definitely just being able to see it done in a sense.
Right.
Helps a lot.
So grew up in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
Did you go to school out there? Like,
I went to college in Hampton, Virginia for a year.
Okay.
Hampton University. Shout out to Real HU.
Yeah, the Real HU. Yeah.
I went to Hampton for a year. Then I dropped out. I moved back home, and that's when I really started doing music. Probably like a year after that. But Queens is always home, and St. John's was up the block.
Right.
So that's how I got familiar with Cole and all the homies, all the St. John's homies. But yeah, man, definitely.
I hear the Fiends are all in there. St. John's, NYU, just tearing it down out there.
Just run through, man. It's a beautiful movement.
Explain to me about the movement. What the Fiends? Why that name?
Yeah,
what this is all about? Because what I see is fresh gear, a unit. You know what I'm saying? But what is the meaning of the Fiends?
Yeah, we used to just always call ourselves Fiends. Like, growing up, like, what's up, Fiend? And like, what you on, Fiend? What y'all Fiends doing? Like,
yeah, it's dope.
So when we became a collective, because really it started as a collective in New York City, which is like me, we have producers, we have videographers, graphic designers.
So creatively,
it's all creatives. Yeah, like the guys that started it with me work in advertising and marketing.
Cool. So that's where some of this comes from too.
Right. Exactly. So it was just our creative collective, and everyone got behind my music, and everyone had full-time jobs, but they would work on our website or our pop-up shop.
That's what I'm saying. It's all together.
Right,
like, you
exactly.
really have your plan together. I give you props on that, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
So now take me back to the early rap days. Who were some of your influencers? Was it New York artists, or did you?
No, it's a little bit of everything. It was a little bit of, especially when that one year I went down to school in Virginia, really changed a lot for me musically, in a sense. Because before then, it was mostly the classic New York artists,
right?
Nas, Hov,
Biggie,
50, Biggie,
right?
Jada, Big L, all those guys, and then I think it was around 05. I went down to school and My homie, shout out to DJ Tay James. He gave me.
Hey, that's my guy.
Yeah. I went to school with Tay.
Oh, okay. Where in Virginia?
Hampton. Yep.
Oh, in Hampton.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So he used to do these mixtapes, and I think it was Tay's from Baltimore, but he had a lot of like the Southern records on there.
Yeah.
So it was like opening my ear to a lot of those joints, and then I think I bought like Young Dro's album.
Nice.
And that might be in like one of my top 5 albums right now. Still,
great.
I love that first Young Dro album just because of like where I was in my life and like what it introduced me to, in a sense. But yeah, I mean, after then it's been everything. I try to listen to everything.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not even a lot of hip hop. It might be like some alternative, just because I'm more so looking for inspiration.
Yeah.
But yeah, like growing up, it was the classics for sure.
From watching your Instagram and the conversations we had, I could tell you're a real music lover. And from hearing your music, it's cliche to ask, but what are some of your favorite albums?
Favorite albums. All right, I gotta think about this one. I would say Reasonable Doubt.
Come to mind, right? You don't have to put them in order.
Yeah. All right, Reasonable Doubt.
Jay. Classic.
Late Registration.
Kanye.
Graduation.
Yeah, I know he's responsible for it.
Yeah, he's got a couple.
Yeah.
We could probably just throw a lot of his discography in there.
Yeah,
right? Take Care is one of my favorite albums. I think it's a real dope album. Friday Night Lights, which I consider an album.
We all do.
You know what I mean? That's definitely one of my favorites. Get Rich or Die Trying. Illmatic, Stillmatic, The Lost Tapes.
Yeah.
Man,
if you were on an island with those records,
Life After Death.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I could keep going. Yeah. The favorite albums always gets me nervous. It's like, who am I missing? Who am I leaving out?
I know.
You don't even want to like betray yourself in that sense. Like,
and miss one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But definitely, I mean, from a DJ perspective, if I have those joints with me, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
Go,
right. You're chilling.
You probably told this story before, but I'm not fully familiar with how you and Cole actually connected. And I mean, I understand as friends, but to do this in a business sense too, like, what was it?
When I started, because I didn't start making music till 2010.
Okay.
And when I started, it was just kind of me and the Fiends, like, just for fun. You know what I mean? Like, after parties, we would come back to we had this crib down in the West Village, because a couple of them went to NYU, and we would call it the Carter.
Okay.
Because back then it was like 4 Lil Wayne tapes on loop, and then it just the place itself was a very, like, experimental crib, in a sense, like a bunch of New York City homies growing up. So that's where we started making tracks, and then, homies like, yo, it's a joke to us, but you're like kind of good, bro. You should really like do this a little more.
Yeah.
So that summer I caught a bug. I started working. Then obviously the first person I played music for was Ebe, and he was like, yo, I wanna play Cole some of these records, and then Cole would give me like really good advice, you know what I mean, and be like, oh man, I can't wait to see where you're gonna be in like 6 months or a year, or
dope.
You know what I mean, as you get more confident, you know what I mean, which is the first thing when you start, is like building the confidence up.
Yeah.
And then just learning how to control your voice and things of that nature. So I just kept doing that, and then I would always send him tracks, and then one day he was like, yo, it was around the time he was finishing up Born Sinner.
Okay.
He was like, yo, I went out to LA. I was playing No ID, some records. He's like, I played him some joints, and like he was digging it. Like he was like, he wanted to like do something with us. You know what I mean? But at the time it was like, and shout out to Dion, man. He's one of the most like knowledgeable, and like he will share that knowledge with you. You feel me?
Like seeing other people win and grow, right?
Yeah, exactly. He'll really foster that environment. And we recorded a lot of Born Sinner out of his studio at the time. So after that, it kind of shifted to like, all right, well, what are we doing with Dreamville? And then after Cole dropped Born Sinner, and that did what it did, it became more of like, all right, now where do we want to take Dreamville?
Right.
And then one day I was just like, yo, I want you to be the first. Yeah.
Man, that's dope, man.
So I'm ready. So it's like, let's do it. We had Last Winter ready to go. Shout out to Interscope. They like took what would have been a mixtape, you know, and gave it a commercial release, helped us clear those samples. You really grow the profile, or my profile as an artist. So, you know, now I'm just working on like this first LP and getting ready to hit the road again.
Hit this tour, right?
Yeah.
How hard was it to keep the Forest Hills Drive thing a secret when everyone's hitting you like, yo, bruh?
Man.
Like, the anticipation for this was incredible. We all wanted to hear tracks, and we would see y'all pop up, and, you know, you did the campaign on the road and going to different cities and stuff like that, which I think was amazing as well. But yeah, how hard was that to keep a secret, bruh?
It's tough. It's tough because the music was so good.
So good.
You know what I mean? It was so good, and it's like, you know, we all knew like what it would do for Cole and what it would do for like what people wanted of Cole.
Yeah.
You know, and how those 2 points kind of meet on this album.
Yeah.
So I was just real excited for the people to hear it.
Man, can you tell me
as a fan? I just you know when you're a fan and you kind of got the scoop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you're like, I want you to hear this, but it's like, you know, you're just gonna have to wait. I can't let that cat out the bag.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
but recording that had to be fun. There had to be some memorable
honestly,
moments.
This was probably the recording cycle I was like least around for, because I was out on tour with Absol, and I was just running, you know, like some of my things were picking up, so it was honestly made it even better for me because I would just come back and hear like amazing music, you know, and you're not even there for like the song crafting. It's just like, bro, I don't know what you've been doing, but it's crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was fun. I got to be like just strictly a fan again. Yeah,
very cool, man. Very cool. That process was dope. How important to you is this new kind of creative rollout that artists have been doing, whether it was what Cole did or how, you know, Drake just popped on the internet a few weeks back and dropped? I mean, when thinking about your projects, and I think that's got to be the new norm. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that type of release?
I think it's really dope that the power shifted in a sense, and artists have more power now with just the information age and how, you know, media gets out now. You know what I mean? You don't have to drive people to the store on a certain day and spend 6 months knowing I need to get people to go to the store on this day. You know, now it's different. It's like when obviously it's different for Cole and Drake than it is for me, because they've paid their dues and gotten their fan base to a point,
to that moment,
right, where now they can go whenever.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean? I'm probably still not stuck to a traditional rollout, but something more where I have to make people aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I love, you know, it's inspiring to me because that's where I want to get.
Yeah.
You know, to be like, man, like you could really go straight to the fans.
But in a sense, you felt that before. You put a record up right now on SoundCloud, and it spreads.
That's true. Yeah.
Like with Wilt Week, what we did with that, right?
That's dope. That's really dope.
Again, thank you for being a part of our project.
Anytime.
But that was one of the most talked about joints. So, you know,
that's like a new phenomenon for me. I don't want you to think I've like been there. That's been like since last winter in a sense, which is why like it's making working on music so much fun, because it's like I'm getting hit up, you know, every day, whether it's like tweets or Instagram or fans like, when's the new stuff? When's the new stuff? When's the new? It's like last year you wasn't checking for it, so this is a good place to be.
Hell yeah, it's a good accomplishment, man.
All right, thank you.
And like Cole told you, I'm excited to see where you're going to be at in 3 to 5 years, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
I appreciate having you on the show, man.
Anytime, bro. It's all love.
All love, all the time. You got the tour coming up that we can look forward to.
Yes, sir. 2014 Forest Hills Drive tour. Yep, me, Omen. Look for that Elephant Eyes, Kaz. You know, LA's own Kaz.
Yeah.
Look for that Kaz in Effect. We put together a really, really dope set for the people.
I don't know if you heard, I was listening earlier to Funk Flex and Cole's interview, but he had a lot of great things to say.
You know, people from back home were hitting me about that.
Yeah, bro. He went out there on the airwaves and really,
that's love, man.
Showed love.
Shout out to the big homie.
Yeah,
Cole the General, man.
He really said, like, the special thing about you specifically and Kaz is just that you guys are doing it, you know what I'm saying? And he felt like you don't really need him. Like, that's the beautiful part about this. He could just sit back and watch the growth and, you know,
that's dope,
give
man.
direction. But he had a lot of great things to say.
That's
about
awesome. I mean, and that's the main thing with Cole is that's my homie.
Yeah.
First and foremost, you know. So I don't ever want I don't want him to ever feel like he has to compromise his art or who he is as an artist for the homies in a sense, you know. So it's good that he feels that way, because it's kind of how we wanted it to be. Absolutely. Like, you know, and he built this platform. It's like, go eat what you kill. Yeah, and that's what we're doing.
Anyone we could look forward to you, or who you would like to be working with in the future, whether it's artists or producers?
Since I've been here, man, on my wish list. That's a good question, man. I've been like so in this album, and it's the content is like, I'm giving people a very like new part of me, in a sense that they haven't gotten. So I haven't even thought about that, you know. But like, I mean, all time, like, I would, definitely want to work with Kanye. He's super dope, definitely, and his sound has no boundaries, which is the most exciting part of it. But there's a lot of dope artists. Like, I went out to London. I linked up with this chick Etta Bond, nice, super dope vocalist. This band The Hicks, I worked with them. They're like a band out in London. So I just find whatever's inspiring and go for it, man. And there's so much inspiring music out there,
Do you have a date on the new album or an idea?
No, I mean, I definitely want to use the tour momentum to come off and then release something maybe around then. Yeah. But I have a lot of music right now, and we got a studio bus. We're gonna be working on Revenge of the Dreamers too. Nice. So me, Kaz, Omen, Cole, we're all gonna be on a bus, kind of bunkering down and working on some music, using this tour inspiration. So I'm just excited, man. I feel like there's a lot of good things going on for Dreamville. Yeah. And we're all on the same page and kind of adding these building blocks to it. Keep
going, bro.
That's the plan.
Keep growing. Keep going. Right. Enjoy the tour.
And you got bars for me now?
Yeah, no, you don't want that.
You got bars for me now?
You don't want to put me on your mixtape. Trust that. But when you drop your album and everything, come back right here.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be here.
For you, bro. Keep doing your thing out there. Enjoy that tour. Have sex with a lot of good women out there, man. And text
the blueprint.
Night Train pictures so you can send them to me, man.
Hey, man. Y'all just got to come out and rock with us.
I will. I'll roll with you, bro.
For sure.
All right, man. Boss on the show, man. LA Leakers right here on the Liftoff on Power 106.